Let me ask you a question. Have you ever deeply regretted something so much that you wanted to go back and change the past? See, with season 2 of Link Click out, I took some time to think about season 1 and why it made me cry so much. And I think what makes Link Click such a great show is how well the show explores the concept of regret, something that undoubtedly all of us feel. See, with its short stories, it perfectly captures the feelings of regret, and the show makes us truly live it by making us dive in time with Cheng Xiaoshi. So for those of you who haven't watched the show, it's about two guys who can basically dive back in time via entering a photograph. And with this ability, they fulfill different requests from different people. And to explain very briefly about their powers, they have 3 rules. They have 12 hours to enter the photo, the diver has to listen to the observer, and you can't change the past, no matter what. See, the rules play so well with the characters, and let me explain why. The show makes us dive into the shoes of the highly empathetic Cheng Xiaoshi, and it makes us go through the various people's stories, unveiling each of their struggles and regrets every time they dive. He goes in the shoes of a girl from the countryside, hoping to make money and work at a prestigious company, only to find out that she stays late night and gets abused by her boss. He dives into the body of a woman whose bond with her best friends gets split apart because of their business growth. He dives to deliver the words of a man who lost all their friends due to an earthquake. He dives into the shoes of a parent whose kid got kidnapped because he was too busy focusing on work. And finally, he dives into the body of a friend who had a mutual love, but was ultimately afraid of confessing her feelings. In each of these stories, we see that the character Cheng Xiaoshi dives into has experienced some sort of regret. The story uses him to express the feelings that we have. What if we could change the past? If this event had gone differently, then maybe this future could have been avoided. Maybe if this happened, it would have been a happier future. We have to see Cheng Xiaoshi painfully experience this every time he dives back in time, and both we as the audience and him know that he can't do anything at all to change any of these stories. You see, Cheng Xiaoshi is very empathetic, which works so well when we as the audience are placed in his shoes. And his empathetic nature is starkly contrasted with Lu Guang, who is very cold and constantly has to remind Cheng Xiaoshi not to change the past every time he dives in. The reason why it perfectly explores the feeling of regret is unlike all the other time travel shows that try to change the future by altering the past, Link Click builds the narrative that the past cannot and must not be changed, despite having the ability to do so. And I think that's how regret works at the end of the day. And I know that each and every one of us has some sort of regret, a situation where if we had only done something different, the result would have been so much more different. See, the tricky thing about regret is that it's only felt in hindsight, meaning after you made the decision, you only yearn for the other outcome. Kind of like the grass is greener on the other side. Link Click shows us that yes, regret is super painful, but it's also saying that regret might not be as bad of an emotion to feel, because through regret, each and every one of these characters realize what's truly important to them. You see, Emma realized that she didn't just want a job in the city at a prestigious company, but rather just a job so that she can make her parents proud and happy and get them a more comfortable life. The dorm sisters didn't want to expand their business, but rather just share the taste of the noodles that they made during the happiest time of their life. And the man learned and realized that he should say what he needs to say before it's too late. Through this, perhaps he learned the pain of rejection is far better than the pain of regret. And this message becomes more apparent as we see Cheng Xiaoshi's development as a character. At the start of the show, he would constantly try to change the outcomes of the people's lives, despite being told that there would be severe consequences of doing so. However, he later almost comes to terms with the fact that he shouldn't change the past because everything almost happens for a reason. He learns to accept this and move on with it. He realizes that in every life he's experienced, every life that he's dived into, there was always some sort of regret that the person faced. And there's no guarantee that the choices you make will guarantee a perfect ending. So, would you go back and change something that you deeply regret? Maybe, maybe not. Perhaps you feel regret so deeply and you can't help but feel that your life would have been so much better had that one thing changed. But one thing we can take away from Cheng Xiaoshi is that it's normal to feel regret, and there's no perfect past. However, we can reflect on those feelings of regret to truly realize what's important to us, and not let the feelings of regret drag you down. And at the end of the day, we have to take those feelings of regret to forge a better future.
但也终会遇见那些 wonder.